Hi guys, welcome back to Reflect and Rise the podcast. You're here with your host Damon, and we're here with Melzie as well today. And we're back for episode 3. Today we're just going to keep it real casual, have a quick chat about things that have been happening over the last couple of weeks, and yeah, basically just have a quick catch up. So, Valentine's Day just went past. Spirit of giving and all the love and joy and everything like that. How'd you go with opulence? I know you were doing some sort of packages or deals for Valentine's.
So obviously with my business, I do self-care routines and self-care packs, and Valentine's was like the perfect opportunity for me to do some business stuff. So I did run a lot of, like I had some deals going on, like free shipping for the month of February. And then I just did a lot of content based around Valentine's. So obviously like buy your girlfriend this and looking for a Valentine's Day gift, I've got the one for you kind of thing. And it went good. Like obviously I didn't hit my target, but I think it went good.
You had a you had a post. It was like a sister's Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, so it's a new thing. I had no idea about it until my auntie told me. It's called Galentine's, and it's sort of like obviously if you maybe if you're single and you spend it with your girls, you kind of just it's Galentine's, your gals kind of thing. And I realized that there was like there's a big market for that. So I was like, why not do some Galentine stuff as well? So that was fun.
There's a couple of like girl events now, isn't there? So there's Galentine's. My partner went to Sismas, which is like Sisters Christmas. Like
That's cute.
all the girls go out and do like a Christmas celebration or something like that. There has to be more.
There probably is. And I think what it is this is going to sound sexist, but I feel like women just like to celebrate things a lot more. And rather than try and convince the men to join in, we're just like, oh, we'll just do it with the girls then. Like, obviously, yeah, there's a lot of activities, events, and stuff that a lot of girls find fun. So why not?
How about a contradictory fact then maybe? Maybe there's more Sismas and Galentines because women are allowed to have women-only events and men aren't allowed to have men-only events.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Not in the sense that like you're not allowed to have them, but
It's just not as normal.
yeah, it goes back to the whole why males can't be oppressed, therefore they don't need to be individualized or have a special event for them. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I feel like men, what do you guys have? Like,
Brosmas. No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like it's not an event. It would just be like, oh, it's going out with the guys.
Yeah, we have piss ups
Yeah, it's just going out with the guys. That's it.
every Friday. No, not really.
Maybe you should start an event that's just for the bros.
But what?
What do you enjoy?
An event that's just for the bros that coincides with some sort of holiday that we have across the calendar year.
You could do Brosmas.
I'd do Broloween.
That's cool.
I don't know, like Halloween for the bros.
And I think, I think maybe this is just the men I know in my life, but I've realized, like, for example, if me and my partner and his mates, who are also my mates, want to do a beach trip, unless I plan it, there's zero plans. Like, we'll get to the day of and they're like, wait, so what time are we going? Did anyone think of food? And I'm just like, fine, I'll plan it kind of thing. So maybe they just don't want to have to plan it.
I don't know if that's a male thing or if that's just not a leader thing, because I love planning. I love planning because I know if I don't plan it, people are going to miss shit.
Fair. Wait, you do a lot of games nights? Well, in the past.
Yeah, sort of like, yeah, again, drinking. Yeah, drinking games nights. Not a holiday. Not
a holiday.
Not like Galentine's or
Start it.
Yeah, we'll have to figure something out. A day that all men recognize as like a public holiday to go do dude stuff and just be boys.
I feel like you guys would love that.
What do you think? Let me know. If you got an idea, post it. Because yeah, I don't think there's any like men twist off of special events. It's like female Ghostbusters.
Yeah. It wasn't the male Ghostbusters, it was just Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's like we didn't need that, but we did need that. It's a great movie. Everybody loved it. Hit at the box office. Glad it's out there. Yeah, I don't think there's anything like that. So it's interesting. I might actually have to start something.
Yeah.
But you said you didn't hear your target.
Yes.
Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more.
Well, it wasn't really much of a target. It was just obviously I want to drum up a bit more sales in my business, but let me tell you, it is hard out here, especially like not even just for like a small business owner or a new business owner, but if you're like a sole trader as well, like you're doing it all alone, it's hard juggling it all, and it's hard staying motivated through it all. So my target, yeah, it wasn't like a specifically like a number. I just wanted a lot more than what I had been getting. All in all, I think it went well, what I aimed to do in terms of like content and getting a lot out there and just kind of getting my brand awareness a bit more out there. So even if I didn't get more sales, I think I got a lot more brand awareness. So that was good.
Do you ever get worried about like the price of items on like your website?
That's like my number one thing. Like the amount of times I've gone through and I'm like, oh, but what if I make it this price? What if I make it this price? But then I'm like, but then if I do, I get no profit. So it's like, it's hard because like, for example, for my business, I'm always like, oh, maybe it's too expensive. But then if I go and Google all the individual items on Google, the average amount is a lot more expensive. Yeah. But I think when people look at it, they don't think, oh, but really those things are expensive. They just think, nah, that total price can't work. So it's hard to get around because it's either you sacrifice money,
which there's very little to be made at the start anyway.
You sacrifice the money by bringing your cost price down. You might get a bit more sales, so you might make it back in that way. But yeah, it's very much a balancing act.
It is though. And when we have things like this cost of living crisis going on as well, it makes it even harder to argue the point that your service or your product is worth the price. You know what I mean? It's because I have the same issue with Dropper Stopper.
Yeah.
I see the value in it, but there's this massive lack of education, which is my fault. The lack of education is definitely my fault. But without there being the right amount of education, it's hard for them, the customer, or just just to understand and see the true value of something. Because I think that's the other thing people forget is, especially with sole traders and small businesses and stuff like that, it's all out of pocket to get you there. If it's not out of pocket, it's out of a loan or something like that.
That's still technically out of your pocket.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you're like, what, Kendall Jenner, and you know, you have like a couple $1 million
just
startup.
A spare.
Yeah, just in the back pocket. It's all self-invested, all your own risk. Everything's kind of riding on either making the right decision or hoping that other people eventually in time see the value in your product. And I'm struggling with that. Dropper Stopper, for example, is priced the exact same as your bundle. Your whole bundle is what I am charging for one single Dropper Stopper. And that is hard to compare value when you're just looking at it from everybody's individual perspective.
Yeah.
If you were to look at, say, somebody who was into wellness and stuff like that, they would see $50 worth of value in your product, but they'd see $50 worth of waste in my product. Yeah. So I think not only do we need to think about education and stuff like that, but we also need to figure out how to get in front of the right people as well. Like, have you tried to do targeted marketing on Facebook?
A little bit.
Excuse my language, it's fucking bonkers. It's literally like this massive list of all these different demographics that you can basically tap into and say, I want to advertise to people who like, for Dropper Stopper, I want to advertise to people who like beer and pubs and pokies, because construction market is my thing. So yes, all of the construction guys, beer, pubs, pokies. Sold. I know all your secrets. Thongs. Ketamine, sorry.
Oh, goodness.
But the targeted marketing, even though it's quite detailed, you can go through and select all these options, all these different regions and everything like that. Even if you can somehow meet somebody else. Yeah, get in front of somebody and meet somebody's criteria. Then you still have to do the sale. You know what I mean? And then you still have to do the education needs to be there behind that. Otherwise, you're just cold selling to somebody and they're like, oh yeah, cool, just this other random thing that's popped up in my newsfeed that I can scroll through. That's definitely where I'm struggling with it. But the fact that you're doing something through Valentine's Day is worlds. You know what I mean? It's better than just going, oh, like me, oh, I haven't had any new things come through, or I haven't had any orders come through. Well, no shit, you've put nothing in, why would you get anything out? It doesn't make any sense. So good work you.
Thanks,
for doing
man.
it. No, that's all good. But yeah, your content creation has always been like on point too. Like I'm
very much social media content branded mind.
Why is that, you think?
Well, one, I always liked it for my personal Instagram. I always like creating content. And two, I'm a very visual person. So like when I started my Instagram for Opulence, it was the very much like, what's the vibe? What do I want it to look like kind of thing. And I actually also work in digital marketing at the moment.
I keep forgetting that you do that.
So I do a lot of stuff with Google and with social media through my actual work as well. So that's definitely got me more in that mindset. So, and I think I find it fun. I find content creating fun. As much as it's like also can be so draining, I do find it fun when you get the burst of ideas kind of thing. Yeah.
I envy you. I envy you. I honestly wish that I could find the fun side to content creation and analyze me. If I had started this when I was 20, not the business, but just getting into content creation. Like if I knew that TikTok was going to be a thing and content creation was going to be the next big thing, basically. And don't get me wrong, there was influencers on Instagram before TikTok was a thing, but that was more the selling of, you know what I mean? It wasn't really randoms on the internet who became internet personalities recognized all over the world. That was not the thing. It was like influencers were kind of in your niche or even like your circles if you knew them. But now TikTok's made it that you can see anybody from across the world, and whether or not they resonate with your like ideas or they have the same sort of style that you're into or they're just quirky in that way. If I had known all this sort of stuff was going to be popular when I was 20, I'd be fucking smashing it.
Right.
I'd be killing it. But I had a group of friends who were always like, oh, you're always taking photos. Oh, you're always
I do
filming
think
things.
that's also a big part I've realized is not caring. Because I think there is a bit of the stigma of like, oh, you're trying to be an influencer kind of thing. But I don't think I've ever worried about that. But that's because I've always been kind of annoying in terms of like, I was always involved in anything public and I just didn't care. So I just like, yeah, we're taking photos kind of thing. But you gotta learn to love it because it is one of the biggest things for your business.
See, I think I can manage the learning to love it. It's the learning to not care what other people say. That's the hard part for me. Because I'd love to just run around all night. Say, for example, we go to a drink up because I'm a man. That's all we do is go to drink ups. If we were to go to a drink up or something like that, I'd love to just like whip my phone out and take videos and take photos all night, right? It's something that if you look, not that anyone can see it because they're all archived on my Facebook, but I have albums on my Facebook that have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of photos in them just from like one night or like one event. And it's just me going around taking photos of all the things that are happening through the night. Yeah. And I used to get shit on so much, not so much because I would out people in their drunken escapades or them doing silly things, but because I was always taking photos. It's like you couldn't escape me, basically. It's like I was like the paparazzi at the party or something like that. And
What would they say?
it was like, oh, you're so annoying. It's like, stop taking photos. Oh, why are you always filming? That sort of shit. So I think if I had a group of friends who were like-minded, and you know that was the sort of shit that they did as well, probably could have fostered that passion for taking photos and videos. And if I had applied it over 10 years, because I'm 30 this year. Damn. Old guy. On the same point. Oh no, I'll finish this point first. Sorry. But if I had spent the 10 years doing content creation and stuff like that, it would be a completely different story right now. I'm still kind of in that shell where I feel like I have all these ideas for content creation because I'm a weirdo. I have all these weird ideas. Yeah. I feel like I want to make them, but then at the same time, I know what I think when I see some people on TikTok.
Okay.
You know, you have like your little prejudice and stuff like that when you see them, or you see what they're talking about, or you don't agree with the point they're trying to make and stuff like that. So I know how my brain works when I see those sorts of things. So I get paranoid that I'm going to post something.
Thinking the same thing.
Yeah. And someone's going to think the same way that I'm thinking and be like, this guy does all these weird things or stuff like that. I think I can blame my mum for putting the fear of other people's judgment on me. Yeah, sorry, mum, not sorry, mum. But it's yeah, I don't know what it is. Content creation has been a massive block for me. Um, Not just personally, especially with Dropper Stopper, because there's only so many ways that you can create content of, for in Dropper Stopper's case, of a thing that's something that is meant to be inside your pocket. You know, Dropper Stopper, you get to see 15% of the product from the outside. So how do you make content for something like that? You know what I mean? It's very, very tricky.
I think it's hard, obviously, with your product because it's a very specific kind of niche. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of like ideas for you, but I feel like we can talk about that off camera.
Yeah, because there's probably a whole bunch, and it's just a fact. Sorry, not a fact. I probably just need to change my perspective on how I make the content, or how I'm trying to get my message across by making content. But I'm a noob, and I'm not.
You're not a noob, you're just new to it.
Yeah, I'm a newbie, Melzie. But yeah, I just a bit stuck is what I guess I'm trying to say. Because I'd love to make more content for it. I definitely think that I could make the time to make content for all my channels. If I could create more channels, if I, had a better way to do it. But my workflow for it sucks. My idea generator for it sucks. My brain. And the only other way for me to kind of get some assistance is to go and spend money at a marketing agency. And I don't really feel like dropping a couple $1,000s.
A couple more $1,000.
Couple more $1,000. I got quoted $8,000 to build a website.
Goodness me.
So yeah, not that kind of strapped yet. So if anybody else is out there struggling, please don't let me be the only person struggling.
You're not.
You're
not.
If anybody else out there is struggling, what are some of the tools that you use when you make your content?
My biggest one, and I swear by it, is Canva. Honestly, if you have not heard about Canva, it's kind of like, what would you even say, like a template? I
would say Canva
just like a content creation tool.
Definitely a content creation tool. I would say that Canva is probably like a image and video
template generator. So you can literally find anything. So if you're looking for, I need a business Instagram reel, you can search it up and there'll be like thousands of templates that you can choose from. But then obviously like in each of the templates, you can customize it, like fonts and colors, and
it's also got like background removal, like
yeah,
photo
it's got
editing
a lot
as well.
of like those sorts of things where you can obviously adjust like the brightness, you can get background remover, you can get like the eraser tool. So if you want to erase certain things out of images.
You say it's like Instagram, if Instagram had better photo editing and templates.
Yeah, kind of thing. But it's like so good. Like there's even like parts, if you're using it for a business, obviously, there's part where you can, it's called mock-ups on there. And then like say
me and mock-ups go way back. Yeah.
So like there's heaps of things where like say if you're wanting to promote like maybe you're making an app, there's a mock-up where it's like an actual iPhone picture and you click it and click what image you want and it'll put it into the phone so it looks seamless. So like very good in that kind of way. And they have actually just started doing a bit of chat GPT on Canva.
Yeah, they're doing like AI generated copy and images as well.
I've kind of played around a little bit. I need to do a little bit more, but like that was pretty cool too that they put that in. But yeah, Canva's just got, if you have no idea, like say you're like, oh, I need to do a free shipping sale post, but I don't know what I want it to look like, you can browse thousands of templates and be like, oh, that one looks the best, kind of thing.
It's like if Instagram and Pinterest had a baby.
Yeah.
And you could edit those images that you saw on Pinterest. Because I think I've only ever used it for the mock-ups. Oh, I lie. I used it for one of our podcast template videos, the one that had like us on the TV. Can't remember. I don't know if you saw it. Anyway, I'll put it up on the big screen when. Okay. So the main one I used it for was mock-ups, because for Dropper Stopper, that's a product-based business. So we would literally search for I would search for product template or product showcase or something like that, and it would give me a bunch of different versions of different color schemes, different fonts, formats, and everything like that. Oh, there's also a paid and a free version. I've got the free version, which is pretty... Yeah, because I remember you were telling me you do like a bulk photo editing and stuff like that, and then you have like, you can export all or you can schedule all or something like that.
I haven't done anything with the scheduling, but definitely bulk saved and everything. I think I don't know the prices. I can't remember. But if you feel like you're going to use it a lot, I think it's worth the money to get the subscription, because you can also even do videos. Like if you are like, oh, I need a reel, it will even come up with like reel templates, and you just obviously input your images or your text or whatever.
Oh, so like CapCut, we'll talk about that next. Like CapCut, they have templates.
Yeah, but obviously it's more not generic, but like I don't know how to explain it. It's like a different vibe on Canva than it is to CapCut.
Right, more professional.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah. But I swear by it. I use Canva almost every day.
Just to clarify the whole template, because I'm pretty sure I was like, oh, Canva has templates. And then I was like, oh, it has templates like CapCut. CapCut is more for video editing than photo editing. And I feel like Canva is mainly for photo editing. I have seen some parts where it's got like shorts and reels types templates, but I have never gone deep into it and had a look and seen what sort of templates. I do know that all of the good ones are bloody paid.
Yes.
So often I will be looking through them and be like, oh, that's a nice one. I'll go have a look at it. It's like paid. It's like,
Yeah, so yeah, like you can get a lot of stuff with the free version, but yeah, you get a lot more.
invest in yourself.
What's your number one? Is your number one CapCut?
CapCut is my number one for editing. So for if I've already got content that I need to
Splice
remaster
together.
or splice together or make more interesting. But ChatGPT is my number one. For anyone who doesn't know what ChatGPT is, unlikely that you don't, because it's fucking everywhere at the moment.
So big right now.
It's massive. It's in my workplace now.
Same.
It's insane. ChatGPT is an AI messaging app. If you've gone and used like a bot messaging app before, it's basically the same premise. It's just on a bigger scale. But the ways that you can use it for your business are just going through the roof. So for me, I use ChatGPT to do anything from my copy, scheduling, ideas for
Like
topics
post ideas?
Yeah, post ideas. I run it as a customer so I can try and sell to them and they can give me feedback on it. It literally is the biggest tool for me because it's so multifaceted. It's not just a chatbot where you know you can ask it questions and it'll just give you answers, which is how a lot of people use it, just on the very basic level. But I can sit there and get it to create Power Pack slides for me. Yeah, it's insane. Or I have an idea for a form that I want to run through, you know, say for example, I want to create a survey for Dropper Stopper and I want to have 10 questions on there. And when the people go through and answer those 10 questions, I want to be able to run a code or something like that that puts it into a pie chart or something like that. I can do that. I could do that on ChatGPT. It's, yeah, levels.
I had no idea. I literally have not been using my ChatGPT right.
I love using it to analyze information.
Okay.
So for, oops, my bad. Oh, I can hear my baby. You hear him downstairs. He's sick.
Little baby.
Little baby. Where was I? I was talking about ChatGPT, analyzing documents. Right. My latest hack for ChatGPT is job applications. So I'll go and find.
Okay. Yeah.
Core goals, responsibilities, ethics, principles, all that sort of shit. And I literally copy and paste all the information I can from that job application and put it in GPT and go analyze it just so that it has the information. And then I go, a lot of places that I apply for, you have to do like selection criteria or you have to do some sort of like interview question responses online. So I go, this is the question. This is the backbone of the role and the core values of the company. Here's my experience from my resume. So I just copy and paste all my information from my resume. Answer this question.
I am not using it to the best of my ability.
I should run a ChatGPT masterclass.
You really should. I feel like there should just be like a whole episode on just you telling us how to use ChatGPT, I swear.
Oh, I'd love to get my friend Singh from the Alliance. I don't know. Yeah, he actually knows like all the like back end stuff behind like AI, creating your own AI, how like machine learning works and everything like that.
I feel like this will be like revolutionary.
It's huge. Like people don't understand how much you can get out of ChatGPT, especially when you start using it as just like the engine for the AI that you want to build. You know what I mean? Like we're actually at a point in time where you don't need to know how to program anymore because ChatGPT can
Someone
do
will
that for
do
you.
it. Yeah.
No, ChatGPT can code for you. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Like full on.
Full on coding in any language. Sorry, programmers.
Am I a dinosaur?
You're
This
a
is
dinosaur.
blowing my mind.
If you wanted to make an app right now and say it was like, all right, this is the front end where you can design it and make it look pretty, but you need somebody to do the back end to do the coding, ChatGPT can do that for you. It does full developing, full programming languages. You can tell it what language you want it to be in and everything, and it will program that for you. It is insane. This is why I want to start my own consultancy company as well.
You should.
We have this company that's working at the moment. Should I name and shame my company? Is that going to burn bridges?
You won't. Do it.
I work at and we've hired this fuck ass around company who has no idea what they're doing basically to come and redesign our letter templates. Basically, we use this Word doc that has a good 100 fill-ins or something like that you have to manually navigate between and enter information multiple times, like the borrower, the mortgagor, the account numbers.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is we have like really shitty forms where we're required to write the same thing like 15 times in just different spots in the letter, basically. Yeah. So in my last federal government job, DFAT again, thank you, I learned about user forms, and user forms are basically, have you ever opened up a Word doc or a PDF and like a little form popped up and you type the details in? That's a user form.
Okay.
I had a look at our template that we're using at work and I was like, I know how to design a user form. I know that they work because I've done them before in a previous role. But the issue is user forms require coding, and it's a lot of coding required to get the form generated, linked to the sections in the form, and then make sure that everything matches up data-wise so that you're not an operational risk to the company, basically. So I had a look at it and I was like, I wonder if ChatGPT knows how to do this. So I said, this is what I'm dealing with. This is the template that I'm dealing with. I have X amount of fields that I need to work through. What would you suggest as code to program this form? And it just goes,
ChatGPT is crazy.
And you know what you do is you run it, right? You put this code in and you test it, because there's a way to like step through the code like line by line to make sure there's no errors. You get stopped somewhere and it's like, oh, this error occurred. You go, okay, cool. Hey, ChatGPT, at this line, this error popped up. Why would this happen? How do you fix it? It goes,
I feel like this is just saving everyone like billions of years.
Huge. That's what I mean. ChatGPT,
time, like having to research, having to ask people like, how do I do this kind of thing?
You can literally, programmers are going to benefit from this the most, because now they don't have to skim every single line of code to go,
saving so much time.
have I added a space here somewhere that shouldn't be a space? Have I got a full stop where a comma should be? And there's 15,000 lines of programming? Nah, fuck that. Copy, paste into ChatGPT, check for errors. Error line 187 found. Done.
Crazy.
It's literally optimizing all the workflows. And for me, Adi works in call center, and I don't know if you realize now, but GPT 3.5, which is the free version, has a voice assistant. So you can talk to ChatGPT, and it is the most human sounding voice assistant I've ever heard.
Oh my goodness.
So, the normal...
monotone kind of...
Hold on, let's do it. Hey Google, what's today? What's today? It's Sunday,
It's
the
Sunday.
18th of February 20... It's robotic as fuck, right? You ask ChatGPT, it's like, hi Damon, it's Sunday. It just sounds like any other person on the phone.
Why am I like low-key scared?
So yeah, this is why I was going to say, leading up to the why you should be scared. So we know AI chatbots exist because they've been around for a while now. Jump online to Vodafone because they outsource everything. Fucks.
Ask us a question and...
Ask us a question,
generate
and then it goes in and goes, oh, this question closely lines up with this. Did you mean this? Yes or no? Blah, 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 blah. I use it in ManyChat as well. But if they can do that with that old technology, and ChatGPT is basically the next level up from this technology, and now there's a voice component as well. Sorry, my fucking neighbor thinks that it's okay to do the lawn on God's day. On God's day.
On God's day? How dare you? Like, don't you know we're also trying to film a podcast here? You should just know.
Before I was rudely interrupted by lawnmower guy. What was I saying? Sorry. Completely
Levels
lost my
up.
train of thought. Sorry. Yes, the AI being levels up. So if we have, this text capability, and now it's got voice capability, how long do you think it's going to take for people in call centers to be replaced? Because in a lot of roles, like I used to work for Apple Care.
Okay.
Apple has like a warranty, IT, hardware, software support line that I think you get for free for 1 year whenever you purchase an Apple device, if you purchase Apple devices. So yeah, it's basically like an IT support thing. I worked there for like 12 months or 18 months or something like that. And they have policies for everything. So somebody calls up and is like, oh, my iPhone screen, the Wi-Fi button's grayed out. You could type Wi-Fi grayed out, look through the articles and go, all right, is this happening? Is this happening? Is this happening? I think it's this.
Yep.
And AI will do that
Instantly.
like that instantly. It's just like someone calls, it was like, hey, my Wi-Fi is grayed out. It's goes, yep, have you tried doing this? Yep. No, have you tried doing this? No worries, we'll book you in for a call to this person. And it's just like, oh, that was seamless. And how much did that cost me? 18 cents. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna revolutionize everything.
And as I have also worked in a call center.
Yeah.
And if we could do that instantly, save me 20 minutes of phone call time, that would have been great.
All right, well then let's ask this question then.
Okay.
Would you get a Neuralink?
Ooh.
You'd be able to do it instantly. You imagine if you had an AI that was feeding you information like that. You're sitting there, maybe not for work purposes, but we'll use work in this example. Wi-Fi grayed out. You hear this information. The chip scans your brainwaves and goes, oh, we've heard this information. We need to search for this information. Here's that information in 0.00001 seconds. Would you?
I feel like a part of me is like, oh, hell yes. But
Yeah.
then the other part of me like, that's scary.
Yeah, do it because we'll hack you.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Yeah.
And obviously, every movie and show about AI has always told us, stay away from it, kind of thing.
iRobot was the one for me.
Yeah.
iRobot was the big one about like robots and artificial intelligence.
Have you watched Black Mirror?
I've seen some of Black Mirror. I think I watched the first 3 seasons and I never really got around to season 4. But I heard a lot of, I want to say good things, but they're not good things because it's scary and dystopian stuff.
It's like, it's creative genius, but it's scary in the way of how accurate it is. Like in terms of, I feel like that's 100% how the world would react if we got to that point of AI. That's where I'm like a bit nervous about it. I'm like, ooh.
I like to look at it from the bright side. When Iron Man, how he has Jarvis in his headset. How cool would it be to have a Jarvis? You're like
cool.
a little buddy.
An actual assistant.
An assistant.
Like
a buddy.
Google, hey Google, but times 1,000. Sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
We don't say the HG words in this house.
Activated it.
There's literally so many devices in this house that it's probably gone off somewhere else in one of the other rooms. I think there's 6.
Because they have obviously like smart homes and stuff now, which is cool. But I'm like, what if it just turned on me? What if my house turned on me?
Air conditioning just gets hacked to go straight to the heater and it just starts heating the whole house up. Fridge gets turned off.
I'm like asleep and it turns on every light. And I'm like,
Oh.
why? Why do you hate me?
Yeah, that would be wild. But if we could iron out all those wrinkles and there was no risks and anything like that,
Then 100%
you
yeah,
would for sure.
Yeah.
You're like,
No
why
risk?
not?
Why not?
Exactly. That's like cybernetics and stuff like that. The I don't know why, but I've played so many games where they have like the augmentation and like you can upgrade your body and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That shit would be lit. Like that'd be so fucking cool. Like imagine people like with disabilities. Let's hit the nurturing card before we get into the selfishness. Think people with disability being able to who are disabled from the waist down, being able to just remove that and just refit them with cybernetic legs that are linked into their spinal cord. And they can walk again.
Yeah.
They can walk better than they could when they had normal legs. They can run and they can jump and they don't feel any pain. Like that would be revolutionary. Like paired up with the whole like chip being able to communicate all that sort of shit. And then you get into the cool side of it. Like, what if you just replaced your eye and you had one eye that was like a hawk eye that could see like 50 meters.
Yeah,
like
I'm
50
freaking
meters.
upgrade all of my abilities.
All your senses. Imagine if like all your senses could just be tweaked and like graded to your lifestyle or the things that you want to do. That's like
Be like a damn video game.
Yeah, like a damn video game. Love it. Let's do it. But that would open up worlds for people with disability. I'm also interested in like service industry. Like, think about people who work in labor jobs all day and stuff like that, being able to like maybe reinforce the spinal column or something like that. Because you know how a lot of people lift with their back and shit like that. At least if they can lift with their back, it's being reinforced by this like
whatever it is,
nanotechnology
something.
or some shit.
Yeah.
Or can you imagine sports? Can you imagine sports?
It'll be a game of like, yeah, well, I did it first, so I'm in it right now.
People are just like, all right, cool, I'm going to make my upgrades even bigger and see if I can beat that record. On the same topic, they've just started, or not just started, but somebody's put their hands up to compete in the very first event of the enhanced games.
Is that a thing?
Literally the Olympics on steroids.
What?
Yeah. So this private company, I'm speculating because I don't know 100%.
Funding it?
Yeah, so they put up, I think it was, I want to say they putting up $2 million for the first person to break one of these Olympic freestyle records or something like that. And it's like enhancement suits, like special swimsuits are all good, juice to your heart's content, whatever, like things you want to take to help your body, like beat this record.
That would be insane to watch.
It's going to be huge because think about how many people in the Olympics, because think about how many people who are born one gender in the Olympics transfer to a different gender to win in their events.
Mm-hmm. That's a whole different topic.
That's a whole different thing. Nothing against the transgender people, except for the transgender people who compete. That's fucked up. Anyway, but the same token, these people will be able to go, well, you know what? I'm not an Olympic medalist natty, but fuck, you know what? I might be the next Olympic medalist, like on juice, you know what I mean? Like it opens up a whole nother level of sporting, you know what I mean? And I'm keen to see how far the human body can go.
Yeah.
The mental aspect is going to be interesting, like to see how that
is
affects.
affected.
Yeah, for sure. But everything's changing. We're literally in a whole world where, obviously we're in the whole world. We're in a time where everything is changing rapidly.
Rapidly. Like, it's like
VR headsets.
Yeah. Yeah, that like even the past 5-10 years compared to the 20 years before that, we've seen such growth.
I keep forgetting how young you are. What was your first mobile phone? Nokia brick for me.
Nah, mine was a Nokia.
Really?
Mine was a Nokia. It was a Nokia E63.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it a flip or was it a brick?
No, it was a brick. It was I can't even really remember. But I'm pretty sure it was just all of my siblings had it at the time. So I just got the same one.
I was a hand-me-down kid. So it was mum's phone and then it was my phone. And that was basically the story of my life. It was somebody else's and now it was mine. Yeah, never had anything fancy. But from the brick phone, the Nokia brick phone, to the Apple fucking Vision Pro or whatever it is. Oh, you haven't seen the Vision Pro? You know what the Quest is?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a Quest.
Like the new version.
So Quest has so they're going Quest 2 to Quest 3. So they got a new Quest out at the moment. Apple has joined the headset race. So it's like HTC, Meta, and Apple. So Apple has a headset now, like $4,000.
Goodness.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's not for games or anything like that. It's just like, it's an Apple operating system headset for $4,000.
Who can afford that? I mean, obviously there's plenty of people that can afford it.
There's going to be...
But the average consumer...
There's going to be a lot of people who can't afford it, who are still going to get it. You know what I mean? But like, it's insane. Like from the brick phone to now having eye tracking goggles that you walk around in everyday life that has mixed reality. So you can have like your augmented stuff where like you have like your apps and shit walking around, but still be looking at everything else in front of you. Like it's insane. People are going to gym wearing it. They're going to like work wearing it. They're doing chores around the house wearing it. It's like we're literally seeing the next leap in technology. Yeah. Soon we're going to have like contact lenses that have like all this mixed reality shit. It's going to be insane.
Yeah. So basically ChatGPT and where that can go is going to be revolutionary.
Huge.
And so you use it a lot for your business, obviously.
Yeah, too much. I probably lean on ChatGPT way too much.
There's no way too much. It helps you. So that's good. Yeah, I need to look more into ChatGPT. I feel like I've been using it for the most basic things ever. And I didn't realize that there was all of these extra little things in there.
If it wasn't ChatGPT, CapCut would be the one. Like,
you reckon?
CapCut is literally the one I use for all of my video editing. It's the one I've spent the most time in because when you're dealing with 1 hour, 1.5 hour files. You can't do that in TikTok.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
It won't.
I think it's a 10-minute cap in TikTok at the
I'm
moment.
pretty sure.
So if you're working with projects over 10 minutes, you can't use TikTok. But CapCut's probably the second one I use.
It's very user friendly as well.
Yeah, I'm doing a tutorial for that one as well. So I can show how to do like the auto captions, exporting different parts of a video rather than having to like, there's a stupid process that I thought was the way to do it, but I ended up learning how to do it another way. But CapCut's probably easily point two. It's like nothing that I put in ChatGPT that doesn't end up in CapCut basically. But you use TikTok, don't you, for your video editing?
So TikTok, I have just switched to CapCut thanks to Damon. But TikTok I like at the beginning because it was just the one I was used to. But I do think CapCut is a lot easier to use. But I will say like I use TikTok now for like finding trends and finding trending sounds because when it comes to content creation, you need to make sure that obviously you want to have like a unique idea. Obviously, I understand that. But the best way to get it in front of people is finding what's trending, obviously. So there's heaps of accounts that will have like trending sounds and stuff. So I do that a lot.
Would you do a tutorial on how to find that sort of stuff? Or...
Sure. It'll probably be like a 20-second video, but I for sure will do that.
Because otherwise I'm just going to hit you up and try and steal all your connects. I'm like, who do you look at?
Yeah.
Give me all your details.
Maybe I'll do one and we can even upload it to like our Reflection Rise kind of thing.
We'll just do like a quick like
tips
okay.
kind of thing. Yeah.
That'd be cool. Thank you. Because I want those details. Even if you can get the right tools for like content creation, I think even if it's a banging post, I think 5 times. I was talking about this off camera too, about how I say I'll have a pause moment
and a repeat.
Yeah, the same word over and over again until I stop lagging and the rest of my brain catches up. So when I spend all this time in CapCut, like I dead ass have spent over a month in CapCut, like all my free time over a month just from editing the podcast. Ooh. So this was kind of going back to what I was saying before about it being last episode, about it being a rewardless job. Like you put a lot of things in, you don't get a lot of out. How do you deal with lack of engagement on a post or on a video when you've spent, I don't know,
so
hours or actually on the same vein, how do you handle getting no engagement on a post that you spent a lot of time on, putting that quality and that effort into it to get that bang on versus uploading something that took you like 10 minutes and it's kind of shitty, but you got like 15 people commented on it for some reason. Like, how do you deal with that?
I think it's hard, and I think it's easier said than done, but I feel like if you're a business owner, you kind of have to remove yourself from it. But again, it's easier said than done because for some reason, you're right. It's like the ones that you put so much effort in, people seem to like not care, but the little throw something together that will get all the engagement, which is insane to me. But I think for me, it's just knowing it's a numbers game, knowing that it's not going to be as simple as I just post a video and now I blow up and now everyone knows me kind of thing. And I think I definitely go through waves. Like we were just talking about my Valentine's Day, like burst of content. Before that, I hadn't done anything since like November, October, honestly, because I was like that down about it that I was like, I just don't even want to put any more energy into this. I'm not getting anything. But I think for me, you have to accept that those downs will come, and then you need to find a way that works for you to get it back again, kind of thing.
You saying it being a numbers game, do you have like a guideline you work towards for those numbers? Like say 1 post a day or one every couple of days?
So I try to do at least one thing a day, but that doesn't mean I'm posting reels every day. But I need to be consistently posting, even if it's just a story or whatever. So for me, I kind of learned in this, because the digital world is changing so much, like this could be not the answer anymore. But for me, I always heard that you need to be posting once a day at least to try and get onto like the homepage and explore page. But so yeah, I think once a day, definitely, like you need to be consistent. and just hope for the best, man. Honestly, like it's draining. It definitely is draining though.
So you post once a day. What's your workflow like? Give us your tricks. Give us all your tricks.
I think if you have Instagram, especially you have like a business Instagram, you do have your insights where you can sort of see over time, like it'll tell you when's the best time to post. Like not the best time to post, but they'll be like, on this day, this time, a lot of your followers seem to be on. So you can do that. So obviously like, oh, if it says 6 p.m., post at 6 p.m. kind of thing.
Sorry, I meant, what is your process? Like, do you like log in, open up your laptop, have a look at some trending videos, find some content, or you know what I'm trying to say? Like, what is your normal, like, what does a normal post process look like for you?
For me, so I kind of open up the app and I scroll through my newsfeed first.
Like Insta or TikTok or?
Insta, TikTok, or Facebook. Kind of get, because like obviously like whatever's trending will also pop up on there as well. So I kind of just get a feel of like what people seem to be posting right now. And then I do look like on TikTok, I do trending sounds. And there's a couple pages I'll follow. I'll put them in, a little highlight for them, where so they'll post the trending sound, and then I'll go onto that trending sound, see what kind of videos are being made, and then sometimes there's even like a CapCut. There's like a CapCut template that they link, and then other things like, say for example with like ideas, like content creation ideas, will just come from random videos I find, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, we'll do something like that kind of thing. It's not very methodical, but I am very methodical when it comes to posting. So there's some little hacks that I've learnt with Instagram especially. I don't really understand Facebook too much, but with Instagram especially, before you post, go on an engagement spree. So go through people's stories, comment on people's stories, like posts, comments on posts, because then it drives that your account you're engaging a lot. And then once you post, I don't really know the algorithm mess around, but I do know that helps a lot as well. So
if you do know the algorithm stuff, message us, because we'd love to have you on and we'd love to have a chat about that sort of stuff, because algorithm's something that I'm definitely struggling with for TikTok especially. You have to basically pass different stages of viewers. So like you'll get screened to like 200 people first, and then if you don't get X amount of engagement by the 200 people, it doesn't pass on. Or if you get X amount of engagement by like 400 people, then it goes to 6, and then it goes to 8. And basically, if you have more engagement, it's going to get put in front of more people. But again, if you know about the algorithm stuff, message us, because we'd love to have you on to talk about that sort of stuff. So consistency would probably be your number one thing. How, with your trending sounds and trending videos and stuff like that, do you look for relevance towards your post, or do you just kind of like, my brain is going?
Yes, to an extent. Like you can't like say, you can't just use a sound and it has nothing to do with your business, or like people seem to be making it about this, and to an extent it has to make sense.
What I'm trying to find out is, should I do dancing videos on Dropper Stopper page?
Yes, 100%.
Who wants to see me dance? Fucking floss and shit.
Yes, we do. Yeah, I think it really depends. Yeah. But I think with fun things like that, I think 100%. But like, say if I'm trying to think, there was one I was looking at, and I was like, oh, that'd be really cool, but it doesn't really make sense. I'll find it later. But I reckon just do it. If it like even 0.1% makes sense, do it.
Because I want to figure out the key things to breaking through the engagement barrier, because it seems to be that the amount of content you have, like the consistently posting, is critical. Like that seems to be the number one thing that I'm hearing from everybody, is like post every day, post every single day. I like how you said, like, it doesn't have to be like a reel, it could just be a story or just like an image, right? That's very low effort, you know what I mean? It would take me an hour, but it shouldn't take people hours to do stuff like that, you know what I mean? I do see it being, unless your flow is really good, and I've seen your content, so I don't think that it's a quality issue. But for me, I can't generate things quickly without being too critical and needing to overcompensate and provide quality. But at the same time, I'm spending 2 hours doing one post, way too long, and getting,
Like, so kind of need to find a way to like streamline it
yeah,
almost.
it's like I need to figure out a better flow, or I need to engage with somebody who has a better mind for this sort of thing so I can learn from them or get some sort of perspective on how to better create content. But it's a struggle for me. It's because I'm a bit of a social chameleon. So I weird, but I struggle with like my identity. I don't know who I am, if that makes sense. So that people go, "What do you like?" I'm like, "I like a million fucking things." Like I like if I was who I was based on what I liked, I don't. That's too
Who
many
is that?
things. That's like 15 jigsaw puzzles with like all the pieces mixed together. That's not an identity. That's just chaos. Um, and I don't know. I've kind of always felt like because I'm a social chameleon, like that people pleaser kind of kicks in as well. It's hard for me to step out and go, this what makes me unique, because I don't know if I feel those kind of unique qualities about myself, because at the same time, I can be anybody I want to be. Depending on where I am, the situation, the people I'm around, I can be whoever I want. It's like master actor over here. But in the age of, content creators and influencers and stuff like that, having a identity or a quirk or something that makes you stand out is kind of necessary. I think is kind of necessary to like really progress on the social media journey. But now I'm at that stage where I've kind of gone, I don't feel like I have an identity. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah.
But if I was to kind of adopt one now, is it real? Or is it just something that I've adopted for the sake of content creation? You know what I mean? It's tricky, man. I overthink the shit out of content creation. I do way too much.
I think we need to find a way to stop that, especially because I think the more you think about it, the more you try to people please and be like, oh, but I feel like people will like this kind of content more, or maybe do this a little bit more, and it becomes, I think, a little bit less, like you were saying, like authentic.
It
and
becomes
like
a chore.
yeah. So I think definitely that. I think it's just about going back towards like the beginning, why you thought it was a good idea, why you wanted this business, why you wanted obviously the product, and then kind of just try as much as you can. I know it's hard to just keep bringing it back to that, I think, because I struggle with the same. I struggle with the same where I was like trying too much to kind of follow, and I think that's when it kind of became a chore for me as well, and that's when my motivation for it, my mental health towards it was just like ugh. But then when you find it again, you find that spark of like, oh, but this is why I did this in the beginning. I think it becomes easier, I think, in my perspective.
No, I see that. I just need to do a lot of like internal work and figure out all these like complexes I have about the social media, the content creation, why I have them. I think if I could work through that, that would help me on my journey. But
100%.
we obviously need to talk more so that you can help me diagnose whatever is going on over here,
Dive into it.
because the whole reason I started Dropstopper was I felt like I had something to share, and it'd be almost selfish not to share that with the world. You know what I mean? So I want to share, but I'm also blocking myself at the same time. So help me get through those roadblocks. Yeah, sweet. And yeah, hopefully things will start to change. But if we were to kind of recap on today's episode, what advice would you give to somebody who is starting a business, trying to get into the whole content creation side of thing, and how would they stay motivated?
Yeah. Okay. I would say definitely use all the tools out there, because at the beginning you might be like, oh, I can do this all myself. Just use the tools. Like obviously with Canva, CapCut, ChatGPT, they will save you a lot of time. I think you just gotta keep going. Honestly, you never get overnight success. So just keep going, and yeah, just remember why you started. Remember why you started it. When everything gets a bit too much, just remember that. What about you?
I like remember why you started, because that's humbling. Like, to go backwards and go, wait, I'm not doing it for the money or the social recognition or this. I'm doing it because I care about this business and I want to share that. Yeah. That's going to motivate you every single time. Like, I feel that 100%. That's a good one. High five.
Good job.
Yeah. For me, I think my tip would be use all the tools for sure. If you can delegate every single time. And if you're this, I'm saying this to myself to watch this later on when I do the editing. If you're worried about the quality of something, like you're starting to get really critical, just get somebody else to look at it. Don't even tell them why you're worried about it. Just ask them to do a review and give you feedback. And if they give you nothing back, like they don't go, oh, it was a bit like this, or, you know, you should have trimmed this bit up over here. And they go, oh, that was really good. All those worries are just in your head. Yeah, they're all just in your head. So, like, it's easy to be your own biggest critic, but you don't have to be. Obviously, that internal monologue is going to get in the way and you're going to hear it anyway. But getting somebody else to just come in and have a look and just give you an unbiased opinion on the video, or I say video because I'm talking about me making my podcasts. But to give like an unbiased opinion is going to change your entire perspective. And if you can if you can repeat that and train your brain to go, I'm self-doubting, but I know that I have nothing to self-doubt, and you can start to correct that, it's going to help you move forward in like all aspects of the business.
100%.
That's probably my big tip.
Good job.
Dang.
Good job.
With that being said, that's all the time we had left for today's interviews. So
Interview. You're interviewing me.
I am interviewing you
goodness.
in our Candid Conversation podcast where we reflect and rise.
That's funny.
That's all the time we have for today. So I thought we'd close up with our community spotlight. Yeah. So this week, I wanted to shout out Kate the Cleaner. She's actually one of the members in our alliance. You've probably heard us mention alliance a couple of times. We'll drop some commentary in the YouTube video. But Kate has been in the cleaning industry for as long as I can remember. She is probably a really good example of somebody who is consistent with her posts and is just like posting every day, if not more than once a day. She does a lot of community outreach. She shouted out Drop a Stopper before, so big love for that. But she's also doing it while being aware of mental health and burnout and stuff like that. And she's a parent as well. So just want to say, awesome job, crushing it. I'm pretty sure she got like Queensland's Woman of the Year as well. Nice. So yeah, that's who I wanted to shout out this week for our community spotlight. I'll drop the Facebook page, any other information I can find in the YouTube video.
Follow her.
We'll put all her details in there. Give her a like and a follow and say hey. Also, don't forget to jump onto the Opulence Wellbeing page and the Drop a Stopper page. Give us a like and a follow. Make sure you've liked and subscribed to the Reflect and Rise podcast as well. Sorry for the list of all the promos and channels and everything like that, but we have to. It's the whole reason we're doing this, and to enlighten people and to reflect and rise.
Reflect and rise. Roll credit.
New Reflect and Rise handshake. Ready? Reflect and rise, baby.
Oh goodness.
If we start walking around and people are like, I'm gonna die. All right, so that's us. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Take care.